Let's go back and where am I headed? All right. Since Richard Conley is in the background, or should be, he should be ready to come out and play. Since you're in the comment section, you want to go to other people's comment section with this crap. So or you want to go from comment section to comment section, but you don't want to come up here. So I know you see me. I know you see your name. There's one thing. Hey, Pop Smoke, what's up? I know you see your name. I put my email address in. Now, I'm gonna tell you one thing about my channel, Richard Conley. Unfortunately, you don't have rules over my channel. Okay, if you have a disagreement, I let disagreements go. But you don't come at me sideways. You come at me sideways with some bullshit, I'm gonna delete your comment. Straight up. You come up with more bullshit, and you're gonna get blocked. I didn't block you. I should have blocked you. Because I went back and looked at your other comments, which I didn't see, and you're on some straight bullshit. And it wasn't just about one particular subject. You had 3 or 4 videos you disagree with some straight bullshit. So now this is your opportunity. You say you want to debate, you want to talk to me. This is your opportunity to talk to me. You ain't got to. I don't have to come out in a public forum and you fly out here. You spend a whole bunch of money to talk to me about whatever. You want me to meet face to face? What do I look like meeting somebody face to face that I never met? That's supposed to be a detractor. Do I look stupid to you? Publicly. I don't know you. I don't know who you are, what you look like, or where you're coming from, or what your agenda is. Look stupid to you? Hey, Brandon, what's going on? So this is your opportunity to come out and play. You don't want to, you get blocked, and you can be go down there with the rest of the bottom feeders and go from site to site to site, messing with me. At this stage of the game, it is what it is. Go from site to site to site on some BS. Hey, what up, Supreme? Now, do you want to come out and play? You want to come up, or you don't? You don't make the rules on my channel. You don't run my life. You're too cowardly to meet me in public. Dude, I don't know you. Hey, Brenda, I don't know you. And if I wanted to be public, I'd be public. You don't determine how I run my life, run my channel, or even disseminate my information. You have a whole channel. If you disagree with anything that I say and you want to get your words out, you got a whole channel. You can make your own videos, which you don't. So you want to come out and play, you want to have this discussion. So get off your chest what you really want to get off your chest. So some of these dudes, I think you have a homoerotic fantasy about me or something like that. You want to meet me in person. You want to argue with me like a woman. When I'm on open hangouts, having open dialogues, you could easily jump in and do it. But the thing is, you don't. I want it in a public forum. You don't make the rules, and you ain't got enough money. Oh, well, they could have. Is he? Is he from them? He called me a plagiarist because I read articles. And I actually put the link to the articles in the description so people can go back and read it. And the only reason I read the articles is because people don't read the articles and ask me questions about stuff that's already in the article. So I actually read them out loud so people don't come back asking me a jillion questions in the comments. I read the article. You already know. I read the article. I give my commentary afterwards, so you don't have to ask me questions about what's in the article. Now, the last thing he said I plagiarized or that I didn't do my analysis, he was commenting on something that I didn't do, not what was in the article itself. And I didn't cite anything because the citation was in the article. I just said I hadn't read it. I admitted I hadn't read it because I was reading the article. I hadn't even seen it yet. But I'm gonna give him about 15 minutes because he just commented in my comment section. So he should know. So that means he's subscribed to my channel. Let me copy and put it because there's always an excuse. Let me go ahead and eliminate the excuse because there's always an excuse. Hey, what up, Miss Meach? I don't, trolls here I can handle. I either let them rock or they delete their comment or block them. But he wanted to follow me to somebody else's channel, and the only reason I even am going through this is because he left a nasty comment on Dr. Johnson's channel because I happen to do a stream with Dr. Johnson. So he can feel free to put that comment on Dr. Johnson's channel. And now when I asked him what his problem was, well, I wanted to meet you in person. I wanted a public arena. Dude, you don't make the rules here. I don't know where these dudes get the idea that they have power over what I do or that money is going to sway me. Because if money was going to sway me, I make a hell of a lot more money selling you guys out than I would actually helping you. Trust and believe. Ask ABL. ABL got 300,000 subs, 10 times the number I got because he's selling you out. I make more money selling you out than I would helping you. Trust and believe. If I wanted to sell you out with the information that I have, I'd have 500,000 subs. Okay. If I wanted to sell you out. But the thing is, if you're going to follow me from channel to channel to channel on other people's channel and leave comments on other people's channel, just because you want to get at me, you don't have to get at me. I'm right here. You ain't got to follow me on Twitter or somebody else's channel, basically bothering them. I'm right here. This is your time. You want to get something to say? I'm right here. I ain't got to meet you publicly. Because if I meet you public, trust and believe I'm bringing something with me. If you're willing to fly out, give me 10 grand, fly out and meet me in a public arena, and you won't even come up on a YouTube hangout? Are you kidding me? I don't know why you won't show. Basically, you did all this to get my attention. Now you have it. The dudes are worse than the women. Hey, what's up, man? Come on, man. Richard Conley, I know you're looking, man. I know you're watching. Show up. I know you're watching. Show the fuck up. You want to debate? Oh, no, basically you want it public because you don't want this on YouTube. You don't want this recorded. Really, that's all it is. Now I'm trying to do some housekeeping, man. You know, this isn't the pre-2020 BGS. What's going on, hostile? Lightsabers out this year. Because Jay was just on our New Styles channel with Jay Shine, and Jay Shine thought the pre-2020 BGS was there. He didn't expect the lightsaber to come out. Do you know who I am? I don't give a fuck who you are. Answer my goddamn question. I'm saying this is the lightsaber BGS. Conley, where you at, man? Bring your bitch ass out. Bring your bitch ass out, man. You bothered my esteemed professor over some bullshit. Bring your bitch ass out. You want to go from channel to channel like these little cockroaches, man. Bring your bitch ass out. Like I said, with a motherfucker written on it. You ain't shit, Prince. That's a good idea, though. That's a damn good idea. Come on, man. Come on, man. Time's a wasting. You've been busy today trolling. Time's a wasting. Bring your bitch ass out. Well, you can take his 10 grand. If somebody wants to meet you, somebody that you never met, never talked to, wants to meet you in person for 10 grand, you should be very suspicious, bro. You live in LA. You're not that dumb. Cleveland, what's up? 10 grand won't get you a good funeral. Somebody willing to fly cross country, give you 10 grand just so they can debate you when they can do it for free on YouTube. Come on, man. Like my mother used to say, I was born today, but it wasn't yesterday. A 5700 XT. Well, hey, Craig, you know, you can look him up. What's up, Art? Come on. The schools, Michael, the schools need to be reformed, man. Your schools go back. Your school system is basically on a 200-year-old model, man. It needs to be reformed. Your school model was designed in 1812. Okay, it's 2020. It's time to get rid of the old school model. Well, 59 and XD. Chaos don't want no smoke. Chaos likes his head on his shoulders. Chaos is allergic to lightsabers. Richard Conley, come on, man. 250 people watching. Come on, man. You won't get that in LA in public. Okay. Come on, man. You know, it breaks your heart. The thing okay. You have three things going. Okay. One is the parents are afraid of it. Two, the teachers are afraid of losing their jobs, and nobody wants to do the work. It's an easy switch. The programs are already in place. It's an easy switch. Yeah, all kids know how to use a tablet. Tablets are cheap. It's an easy switch. You could have done this years ago. But nobody wants to stay home and monitor their kids. They're lazy. They've been taught to be lazy. Especially the mothers. Mothers don't want to teach their kids, man. They want to pass them off to somebody else. You know, my daughter would rather pay somebody $1,000 a month to teach her kid rather than sit down and do the homework with the kid. They don't want to do it. Yeah, he's allergic to lightsabers. But Chaos is what Chaos want to come. He welcome up. I'm in no mood to play today. I already jumped on two people. I'm in no mood to play. And he been pissing me off the last couple of days. So this is his time to talk before I block him. Next is going to be blocked. But I know once I block him, he's going to go to other people's channels with this BS. So they actually counteract that so other people don't have to clean up my mess. I'm trying to clean it up right here. I don't even know who he is. He's some dude in the comments. And everybody knows if you disagree with me on something that I've said, I'll go back and forth with you. I'll leave your comment up. I might call you a couple names here and there, but the thing is, I'll leave it up. But if you go sideways in the beginning of the comments, it's going to get blocked. I'm not tolerating the sideways comments. You go at me sideways, I'm going to delete your comment. You do it twice, you get blocked. I don't have the patience this year that I used to have. I am not tolerating hard-headed Negroes. Because YouTube is starting to piss me off. It's been almost 20 minutes, Conley. Show up. I know he's back in the comment section. I know I just about tell you he's back in the comment section. I know he's in the comment section. I know he is. I know he is because he keeps saying I'm misleading you. That's what he keeps saying. You're misleading black men. I'll give him 10 more minutes. That's about half an hour. While I'm at it, go ahead. Shoot some questions while I'm at it. I know they very rarely will, but the thing is, they want to, you know, I have a group of guys, right, that disagree with me, right, that won't get on and actually air out their grievances, right. They back down when they do that, but they want to go to other people's channels and put my name in comments in other people's channels instead of coming here dialoguing with me. You know, I got a red lightsaber, man. I got a red lightsaber. I don't know. We have to see the 4000 Ryzen chip because it's supposed to be an APU, right? So it's not really the Ryzen chip. They're gonna make it an 8-core chip. The thing is, how will the graphics part of it perform? Because that's what it's after. The thing is, they can't put any more cores on it. Basically, they're almost at the peak of what the clock speed they can put on it. Now, the IPC gains are going to get incrementally better. So I don't know how much more they can actually put into the chips. So until they go to 5 nanometer, I don't know how much they can actually do. So the next goal, the only frontier will probably be once they get to close to 5 gigahertz. The only frontier will be putting it into thin and lights, and then adding the onboard GPU. What they want to mix is like a 5600 XT along with say like an 8-core Ryzen, like a 2700 or a 3700. Put them together and put it in a laptop, and then try to keep the uh, the battery life up, which is tough. The heat down and battery life up, which is going to be tough for 8-core part. Because on your mobile side, they're already doing 8-core parts, but the thing is, they don't have any power. They have the same power as the CPUs. So how to get a laptop down to that where it won't burn itself up and get the speeds up, it's difficult. So there's only so much you can do. But I think that's what they're going for. I think it's more on the graphics side for the 4000. Depending on which Ryzen. If you run the 3950, you run a 3950, depending on how much you want to spend. If you run a 3950, it'll crunch it. If you want to kill it, you want to spend $4,000, you can get the 3990, which kills everything. Not as good as some other people. Yeah, I think they're putting the 8-core Ryzen in the PS5, which is a mobile chip, which is the 4000s. There's only so much liquid you can actually put. You can't really put liquid cool in a laptop in a thin and light. That's really difficult. The thing is, and then even then, if it's drawing that much heat, the battery life will be abysmal. You have to bring down the power envelope and bring down the heat. NVIDIA is not really shooting for that. I think it's because NVIDIA doesn't make CPUs. Ryzen, AMD does, which is why it's unique. PS5 is APU. It's an 8-core part, right, Craig? That's what they're saying. Yeah, the 3990 is a beast. But the thing is, they don't even have enough software for the 3990 as a desktop part. You have all the testers that are testing this part. It's like, what do we do with it? You don't have any a need case for a 3990. 64 cores, 128 threads. What are you gonna do with it unless you're into making 3D movies or something like that? Yeah, but the thing is, they need to make a chip and a CPU and a GPU work together, and the only people that can do that adequately is AMD. And Intel doesn't have anything that will actually compete with the 7 nanometers right now. What's going on, Rice? And basically what it is basically the Chinese AMD and Intel taking the legs out from the Chinese AMD and IBM taking the legs out from under Intel. It depends. It depends on what you want. This is just the future. I like I like thin and lights because I like the touch screen and the pen. So I don't need a big laptop workstation because I got a 12 core beast right here. So for all the heavy duty stuff. Um, basically it's a trifecta. It's maybe one day I will actually put that video up about the trinity between IBM, AMD, and the Chinese. For you. When do you do, right? You should be pretty close, right? You should be pretty close, right? If you're intrigued by this tech talk. You know what? Technologically, Intel cannot pass that 10 nanometer barrier because IBM did in 2015, and basically they're ganging up on Intel. But IBM doesn't want to come out and be the face of it. So basically, IBM has they had the process to go all the way down to 3 nanometers, and you'll be at 3 nanometers by 2025, which is as low as I think that they can actually go. What'd you have, Rice? We haven't heard from you. What did you have? You were supposed to be a girl, right? It's supposed to be a girl that you're supposed to have, Rice, if I remember correctly. Oh, go to your community tab. Okay. I'll be doing another pull-out show. What's a pull-out show? Yeah, the boy. Okay, I couldn't remember. Yeah, they're basically the roadmap for TSMC is already 3 nanometers. The roadmap's already there. 5 nanometers is already they're already building the foundry for 5 nanometer already. Yeah, he's not showing. He got 3 more minutes. Oh, God, pulling out with the ladies. Oh shit. No, no, no. I'm not gonna be doing a pull-out show, man. If you want that kind of information, the book is The Multi-Orgasmic Man by Mantak, M-A-N T-A-K, Chia, C-H-I-A. It's printed in 1995. The Multi-Orgasmic Man. If you want to up your pull-out game. Pull-out game, seed retention, controlling your orgasm, controlling her orgasm, it's all in there. If you want to read up on that. Old book. You probably can find it online somewhere. Huawei's not really in the CPU game. Okay. They're not even close. So they're actually, their CPUs are actually mobile CPUs, which are different. They're not x86 or a server grade. I just finished editing the sound for my Gail Snoop video, and I'll give you guys I've actually talked about it. Coronavirus. Well, we'll see, man. Any virus will never kill everybody. It'll make an impact, but it's not gonna kill everybody. Even the Spanish flu that killed like depends who you talk to, between 50 and 100 million people back in 1918. It didn't kill everybody. If the coronavirus was that deadly, they'd be dropping dead like flies, and they're not. They'll get in, but they're not making those kind of chips. They're making processors for mobile. So the processors will be the kind that go in like the the iPad Pro, but they're not x86. X86 or server grade. IBM's got the lock on. They're going to have the lock on server chips after they bump Intel out of it. They're actually making Intel burn through a whole bunch of cash. Now, I haven't finished I haven't even worked on the Hackintosh, man. It's sitting up there looking at me, licking his tongue out, like, when you gonna get to me? It's together. I just have to put in the software. All the parts are all together. I just have, put in the software and go through the debugging. Lysol's not gonna help with it. It depend if it's just a regular run-of-the-mill virus, it's not gonna be that bad. If it's the Spanish flu killed your great grandmother. Oh, but the stuff is around. Computer talk. Am I voting Trump? No, I'm not voting Trump. I will probably vote Green, whoever the Green Party person is, and then vote whoever's whatever person's viable on the down ticket. But but the thing is, go back and look up at if you really want something interesting, go back and look up IBM's 7 nanometers back in 2015 and see who's in the room when they gave the presentation. It was Samsung, TSMC, I forget who the other one was. And I think NVIDIA might have been in there too. They were all at that conference. So because NVIDIA, because IBM broke that barrier back in 2014, but I don't think they had enough money to actually bring it to fruition. But it was very interesting how this 7 nanometer actually propagated, and that's how come AMD actually agreed to license their technology to the Chinese so they could actually build their own chips, because Obama, I think it was 2014, Obama banned Intel from selling x86 chips to and server chips to China back in 2014, if I'm not mistaken. And so the Chinese had to have a workaround. So IBM needed money, Chinese had money. And the only agreement is that, okay, we give you this money to develop this stuff. We get the technology, which AMD and IBM willingly gave up. They gave up the technology. So China is in the process of building its own 7 nanometer server chips in parallel. They're not competing against AMD. It's for in country only. But the thing is, they actually finance it. So even TSMC has to build so many chiplet plants in mainland, even though they're a Taiwanese company. Who hurt NK? North Korea? No, not necessarily. Any virus is only going to kill a certain percentage of people. It's not even the worst pandemics will not kill everybody. But if you look up the Spanish flu and the end of World War I against the Germans and match up the timeline, it looks very interesting. I'm not going to say it here. It's extremely interesting. John Campbell, there's another guy that does it every day. He does a daily breakdown on the coronavirus. ARM chips don't have the clock speed or the power. Okay, different in architecture. There's actually another kind of chip that IBM is actually building. ARM chips are not built for that kind of power or that kind of wattage. No, they don't. They don't want the Chinese building supercomputers. That's what they didn't want. And IBM saw a way to knock Intel off their perch, but that's just, you guys can do the legwork. I'm in enough trouble already. Well, the thing is that about the coronavirus, um, it's not the virus itself. Okay, the virus is the virus. There's always kind of outbreaks of flu virus. It's the reaction to what the virus is. Everybody's actually, everybody actually going gaga um, over this stuff. The guns are coming out. They're actually forcing people to stay under quarantine. When the guns come out, it's not a bullshit thing. Okay, the guns don't come out over a regular virus, like the bird flu. You ain't seen no lockdown in China with no doggone bird flu. There wasn't no locking down cities, pulling guns out, burning bodies and shit over no goddamn bird flu. So that should tell you something. This is not a regular occurrence, in my opinion. Um, which the RISC chips, it takes more RISC chips that's to power a supercomputer than the not only, but the x86 is also, there's another. The original RISC chips were actually built by IBM, which they still build. Okay, the original RISC chips are still built, but the RISC induction chips that say, I forget who builds them now. The under ARM are not the same ones. They're lower powered chips. But the new chips that IBM is actually building with this architecture, actually, what I think they're RISC-V or RISC-6. Can't remember which ones they are. But you can go there and find out, because once they take out Intel, then IBM will actually start selling these RISC-6 chips. The thing is, they can't do it with Intel in a way. In fact, TSMC is actually building, making, as we speak, 7-nanometer RISC chips for IBM. Do tell. For servers. The Chinese are actually going to build their own too. But there's not that big a difference nowadays between the RISC chips and the chiplets that AMD's building. There's not that much difference. But then most of your software runs on what x86 software. They found a super spreader. I'm not, all it takes is one person to get out. Don't have to be a super spreader that's asymptomatic. All it takes is one person to get out and infect a couple people, and then it's geometric. Well, if it cripples their economy, it cripples the world economy. And basically, you already have people that have already been in Europe, in most of the parts of the world. In the United States, I think it's like 5 or 6 cities. In fact, they were talking about a couple of escapees that they let go early from quarantine in San Diego. It could be a bioweapon. Nobody knows exactly what it is. It might have been just an experimental virus that got out of the lab. That wasn't. They were going to use it for something else. Nobody knows exactly what it's about. But from what I'm hearing, it basically the Chinese lab that the stuff was developed in, their protocols weren't strict enough. The doctor that died from this virus, he was actually wearing masks, and he was going through protocols, and still didn't save him. He actually died. With new cry flew right off the plane. Yeah, well, it can happen. It could be a bioweapon. We don't know. In fact, a couple of the people that are into that stuff, into that field that I know, they said that it might not be a bioweapon. It could be a couple of things. It depends. It depends. You have to see how it spreads. Yeah, they're trying to study it. So the India was the first one that actually made the copy of the coronavirus. Not from what I'm hearing. That might be the first place they noticed it, but if what I'm hearing, Wuhan, there is a bio lab in Wuhan, a high level bio lab in Wuhan, and evidently it has nothing to do with sanitation, Steve. Oh man, y'all stop being silly. The vaccine might not work. Evidently, it's not a level 4 virus. It might be a level 5 virus. The original Spanish flu is a level 5 virus. No, not really. It, a bankster by themselves can't make up this, man. They can't make up this kind of news, and everybody's reacting all the same way. It's one thing one country does it, but if all the country that come across us do the same thing, it ain't the banksters. No, they're saying they've never seen anything like it before. That's what they're saying. But the way the military is reacting to this is not something to play with. But hopefully it'll be um, less a deal than they're making it out. Hopefully that's the way it's going to go. They don't need they don't need a virus for a global slowdown. They can blame it on a trade war. All right. Happy studying. Well, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. You're thinking that people are perfect and they're not. They fuck up all the time. And usually when things go wrong, it's somebody fucked up. Just like the Spanish flu. They thought they designed it for one reason and it got out of control. Like off things do. Bruce Bigby, what is the old saying by Robert the Bruce? The best laid plans of mice and men aft go a glee. China might see anything. Come on, Chief. Let's not stop being silly, man. The Spanish flu came out of Fort Detrick, Maryland, sent to Europe, killed 100 million people. If you don't believe that the plans of mice and men aft go a glee, look at the 2008 financial crisis. That should be enough right there. It got way out of hand, and they didn't know what they were messing with. They lost control of that tiger and got eaten by it. My 10-hour rants. Oh, okay. I can't. You know what? If you do so many of them, man, you can't remember which one it is and what you did. Yeah, go back and look up the Spanish flu, 1918. It only took like a year to do it, and they said between 50 and 100 million people, depending on who's counting. What's up, Roger? You got something cooking, Roger? Fort Detrick is a military base. I wish I could find. I'll actually find it because Dave Emory did a whole breakdown on the Spanish flu in Fort Detrick, Maryland. My the greatest conspiracy theorist. In fact, the CDC, I think it was in 1997. They were up in Alaska, I do believe, and uh, uh they found a body of a female that died of the Spanish flu in 1918. They dug up her body, and the virus was still viable, and they flew her body back to CDC in Atlanta. They replicated the virus. So the Spanish flu is down there in level 5. Yeah, it probably will spread it worse. Yeah. Yeah. If you want to dig into the weeds, go look. Just put it in Google search and look at the conspiracy stuff behind it. It was nothing to play with. And basically, that's how come they know about the bird flu because it actually it basically makes you cough up your lungs pretty much. And in fact, it buries itself into your lungs. And unlike most viruses, it killed young people, young folks, young healthy adults, rather than the normal flu that would kill babies and old folks. It actually killed young and healthy adults. It was it was probably designed to kill soldiers, which is probably what it's developed for. But that's conspiracy, you know. With tinfoil hat on, okay, that's probably what was designed to do. And they shipped it with soldiers and chickens uh, into um, into France, and it showed up. The first signs actually showed up in Spain, where they detected it, but it went throughout all of Europe. And 9 months later, after it showed up, basically the Germans surrendered. I'm not saying that's what happened or that's why it happened, but the thing is, things coincidences in history are often closely related. Anyway, we got 46 minutes. We'll give you guys 15 more minutes to ask questions. What do you guys want to ask before I jump off of here? Since the good brother, he's probably in some comment section, man, twerking instead of bringing his narrow ass up here. So I'm gonna block him and be done with it. He just have to go to somebody else's channel and complain. Now he's not even commenting no more. Okay, maybe he'll go away. I doubt it. I have a troll, man, that's been doxing me and following me, man, for 5 fucking years, man. Just 5 years. Say, come on, man. I ain't your man. I didn't break up with you. You didn't have a baby by me. Why are you following me for 5 years, man? Go away. My old video of what? Are you asking me or somebody else? Wednesday. The next hangout will probably be tomorrow for my patrons. You know what? The problem I had with my 3900X build, believe it or not, was with my SSD because I kept getting it kept shutting off and blue screening and stuff like that. Blue screening like that. I thought it was a chip, right? And then one day the SSD failed, and the SSD failed. And I was trying to figure it out and found out that Samsung SSDs and Ryzen 9 do not play well together. And so I had to, so I got me a Sabrent NVMe drive, right? 1 TB, pop that in. And other than Chrome, all my blue screen things went away. Uh, it used to go to sleep and wake up in the blue screen, all kind of stuff, with all kind of goofy stuff. Well, and sometimes it would have to unplug the SSD to actually get it running right. I finally figured out it was the SSD. I replaced the SSD, everything ran right. So if you running Ryzen 9, I would suggest you stay away from Samsungs. At least going through SATA. The SATA drive. I think the NVMe drives are okay, but the SATA drives and Ryzen 9 do not get along. I had found that out the hard way. But after that, it's running fine, purring like a kitten. Chrome, since I overclocked my memory a little bit, I got 3,000 memory. I overclocked it like 3,200. For whatever reason, Chrome will blue screen because of the memory. So if you overclock your memory, and you're using Chrome especially heavily, like I'm doing right now, you might get a Chrome crash or a Chrome blue screen because Chrome likes stable memory, and if you overclock it, sometimes those two things don't mix together. But other than that, it's purring like a little kitten. Yeah, they're flying them out to the Air Force bases and quarantine them. When you see quarantine lockdowns, man, you know this ain't no joke. ED Metrics, what's up? Oh, 3950. Yeah, you know what? I didn't get the 3950 one because I wanted it sooner, and two, I was afraid that it was going to be too hot, and I wanted to be too hot. But the thing is, actually, 3950 actually runs pretty cool. But for what I do, 16 cores is kind of overkill for me. So I'm not really running. I think I edit on Camtasia. Sometimes I edit on on Vegas. Um, other than that, I really don't do anything heavy. And then the sound processing doesn't need that much. So 3950 for what you get, man, because that chip was a Threadripper. The Threadripper, it would have cost you like $1,100. The 1950 cost you like $1,100. So now getting a 16 core chip for 750 is like a steal. But I like the 3900X. I think the 12 cores is enough for me. Because most of the cores actually sleep unless you're doing like, what do you do with your 3950? What are you running? What are you thinking about the Andromeda strain? I don't think it's quite that bad. It's not quite that deadly. And well, hey, if you're feeling like a pimp, man, get you a 3990. You pay 300 over. Oh my good. Come on, man. You must have got it when it first came out. Because when it first came out, man, because I had to wait for my 3900X. I actually ordered it when it first came out, right? Man, it took me like, what is it? It took me like 4 months to get it. But I didn't want to pay, I didn't want to pay over retail, so I refused. If either I'm going to get it for the price that they offered or not, and they finally shipped it, so I'm happy with it. Like I said, just beware of Samsung SATAs because you can get blue screens. Okay, man. Well, you a pimp, man. You could have got a 3960 for that price, man. Yeah, yeah, yeah. As a boot drive, is a boot drive. The Samsung SATA gives you all kind of. I couldn't figure it out because even with my 1700, the SATA drive gave me a lot of hell, right? Because if it went to if I didn't shut it down properly and it went to sleep, and I try to wake it back up, it wake up in the blue screen. I couldn't figure it out. But the thing is, with the 3900X, I thought I was going to have to send it back. But the thing is, one day the board wouldn't recognize the drive at all. I said, "Oh, this is something different." So I actually replaced it with an NVMe. Find out that that Samsung SATA controller has an issue with Ryzen 9 and Ryzen 9 boards, or Ryzen boards. Period. Ryzen 5, 6, and 7. The SATA Samsung drives have an issue with it. 39 3950. What is it? All it is what? 8 more cores. You're a pimp, man. 8 more cores ain't gonna hurt you. One more chiplet. Dwayne Wade's son. It can happen. If that's who he is, that's who he is. We can say the same thing about Magic Johnson's son. If that's who he is, that's who he is. I'd like to know why. Yeah, I'll take an NVMe. The SATA's not bad if it's not a boot drive, but not bad if it's a boot drive. But the thing is, if it's a boot drive and it's Samsung, you're gonna catch hell. Which NVMe drive did you buy, Bruce? 16 is too much. That's what I said. I said, 3900X was fine for me. But if the 3950 had come out a little sooner, I might have forked over for it. But the thing is, I was afraid that it would get too hot, I'm using a X370 board. I thought it'd be a little bit too much power to run through my X370. So I said the 3900 was actually perfect. No, nothing. We just kicking it, trying to get a dude to come out and play, and he didn't want to come out and play. He want a wolf on the in the comment section. Yeah. Oh, you got the 970? The 970 is a beast. But yeah, as long as it's not a SATA, you're okay. I think if you're going through NVMe, you're cool. Oh, you got X570? Yeah. Now X5. If I had an X570 board, I'd actually went for the 3950. What do you run on it, man? What do you do? What do you run on it? Do you edit video or what? Because it's overkill for gaming. X570. Yeah, I didn't want to buy a new board. I didn't want to buy a new board, so I just wanted to drop in. So I didn't actually want to overkill my DRMs. Actually, when it was actually blue screen, I thought the DRMs were actually overheating, and it wasn't. Oh, okay. It does blaze, but the thing is, it's overkill. Unless you're doing something, unless you edit on something like a DaVinci Resolve or something like that, or Premiere. Even Premiere doesn't need quite that much. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, if you don't need it, you don't need it. I had no problem with if you need it, you don't need it. Now, if you're running DaVinci Resolve and you're trying to run like 4K video or 4K RAW, then you might need 3950X or something like that. The light version of Windows. What is the light version of Windows? Are you talking about the mobile version using the APUs? Well, you want the only reason you use the light version of Windows, it'll be on a mobile tablet or something like that. Otherwise, you wouldn't need that. I don't know what my timings were. I just went to the advanced settings and just basically let the automatics do it, because you just go there and dial it down to 3200 and let the automatics do it. But I read that if you're getting say like Chrome freezes or something, or blue screens like that, is that the memory controller is not really designed to be overclocked and deal with Chrome. It won't do anything for most of the other things like encoding and stuff like that. But for Chrome is just, Chrome is Chrome. Google Chrome especially. Oh, you got 360. Okay. Now, what software do you run with it though? The way you thought you would need all those cores? Or are you just doing it just because? Firefox is great. I actually use because I'm running StreamYard. I use Brave. Brave is actually pretty good for running as a Chrome alternative. I think it's better than Firefox. So I run Brave if Chrome gets to acting too funky. I haven't run Firefox in like, Firefox did me dirty maybe 6-7 years ago. I haven't run it since, because you run Firefox all the time over Google Chrome and Windows Explorer, but it did me dirty. so I don't trust them no more. I remember I used to run Mozilla, man, back in the 90s. I never tried Opera. I've tried Opera a little bit, but I don't feel no love for Opera. Oh yeah, virtual machines, yeah, because it's you get 24 cores, so it's great for running VMs. In fact, it was designed to run VMs. They used to be Threadrippers, which are basically server chips. So they're designed to actually run VMs. They're not really, they really are not desktop parts. They're actually server chips. They're actually modded to be, they're actually Epic chips. They're actually modded to be desktop parts. So they changed the architecture. They didn't even change the architecture. They just put the program them a little bit differently. They raised the clock speed and raised the heat profile, and basically 3900X is no different from Epic chips. So they put less chip memory on it than the Epic. So they run VMs just fine. Anything with more than 2 cores will run VMs just fine. I was running VMs on 2-core laptops. In fact, Windows, most of what you see in Windows is virtual machines anyway. They just don't tell you that. Most of the stuff they run, most of the programs they run virtual machines anyway. All the light versions actually run. The scaled down versions actually run on what do they call it? Wrist tablets. I'm trying to remember the name of them. The same chips that the phones use. So the scaled down, the Windows Lite is actually run on that. Yeah, it does. And you know what the thing is not the it's not the CPU usage, it's the interrupt requests, the IRQs. They use way too many, and Windows only has so many IRQs to actually go around, and once you use them all up, they go crashes. That's what's happening. It's only so many interrupts it can actually use, and Chrome likes to use interrupts, and it doesn't. When you actually click off a window into click off a panel or a tab, Chrome doesn't recycle those IRQs. So you think that you only have three tabs open instead of like 50 or something like that. But Chrome hasn't recycled all those IRQs. So you don't have 2 or 3 tabs open, all of a sudden it goes poop. But that's Chrome. But Chrome's been doing that for a while. Yeah, ARM chips. ARM chips that's what Windows Lite is actually run for. I haven't seen a Windows Atom in a long time. I mean, an Intel Atom in a long time. But Intel, I do still have an Intel Atom. They suck. Okay, let's put it that way. Intel Atoms suck, and they don't suck balls. They suck fire hydrants. They suck. Yeah. But anyway, it's over an hour. Last questions before I jump. What video card do I have? Really, I don't have nothing much. I have a 580X. That's what I have. Because I don't really game a lot, so 580X is all I really need. Atom would be. I think what killed the Atom was the ARM chip. As the ARM chips got better, they killed the Atom. Because the Atoms suck. Nah, not really. The thing is, if I go with a 2080 Ti or something like that, then I have to change the power supply. I get a beefier power supply, and using, since I keep the system on a lot, it's just gonna really just chew up electricity, and there's no reason for that. So since I don't game a lot, I don't need a 2080 Ti unless I'm actually gonna uh, get into like 4K video on DaVinci Resolve and all the other color stuff like that. Then you need a 2080 Ti or something like that. I don't really need that yet. Are unicorns real? Depending on how you define a unicorn. I only played the Master Chief Collection just a little bit, but I love Halo. Really, I was thinking about getting the two Radeon 7s, because if you're gonna build a if you're gonna build a Hackintosh, then you need the Radeon 7s. Yeah, the thing is that I have to increase the. It's not getting the card itself, but the thing is the power draw they actually have. The 580X already draws probably more power than I like, but the thing is that you know it's efficient for what I need, and it it's fine for when I render video. It does fine for everything else. I have with 2 or 3 monitors hooked up to it. So for what I need, a 580X is probably the most that I need. There was no such thing as unicorns. You talking about 2080 Ti's? Yeah, that's high for 2080 Ti, depending on how much memory it has on it. But I've seen the Radeon 7s for as low as like $300 or $400. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. 1080 Ti is probably just fine for playing games. Once you get over, I mean, your FPS. Once you get over 100, it really doesn't make that big a difference for most people. And I'm still at 1080p, so it really doesn't make any difference. Nawalts are a dime a dozen, and they get 5700 XT 8 GB. Yeah, that's actually a good card. Yeah, but what are you running on those damn things, man? They're power hogs and have to be cooled. And and the thing is, why do you have it? I know some people would like to. If you're actually doing game streaming, then 28 Ti will actually be useful. But other than that, not really. So, or 5700, yeah, they're gonna have new cards gonna have issues, and now a lot of it is that the software is really not written for it. But I heard Big Navi's coming out, so they're gonna come out with guns blazing. Now it's crazy, but the thing is, if you need that kind of card, that's what you pay. You need that card. Um, Most people can use a 1080 Ti and game in 4K just fine. Yeah, in VR, in learning machines, that's fine. They're fine. But the thing is that in VR gaming, you don't need that much. A 1080 TI is just fine for VR gaming. Yeah, well, they're going to build them because they can, Bruce. They're going to build them because they can. It's not. I think they're really pushing the envelope because they actually want to put all this infrastructure into the into APU. So they actually go into things like PlayStations and Xboxes and thinner lights. I think that's where the money is. Ray, you know, ray tracing. I mean, if you got a 4K monitor and you can see all the detail in ray tracing, and you're willing to actually invest in a system that can do all that, that's fine. How many percentage of people even care about ray tracing? And how many games even support it? So they have to re-render the whole all the software to actually support ray tracing, and for a little bit extra detail. Now, like I said, for VR gaming, then ray tracing is probably important because you need a more realistic um, realistic image. But other than that, for the vast majority of people, they don't even need that. How many gamers? I think they said 90% of gamers are still on 1080p. That's where the vast majority of the people still are. People like me. Most people don't care about all the little grass and all that kind of stuff. They care about playing the game. Okay, they're not noticing all the little detail. If it's there, it's there. If it's not, it's not. It's about them writing a good game. Anyway, folks, I'm gonna bounce and let me finish editing my video about Susan Rice, Gail King, and Snoop Dogg, and I'll put it up. It'll be up in about 30 minutes or so. Okay, you bought the 1080 2080 card. Okay, yeah, you have to buy a monitor to take advantage of it. Yeah, 1440p so is cool. Uh, unless you really need it, then only a few people need like an 8K monitor, man, and shit like that, which is crazy expensive. And most of the people that are actually video people or people that need the color space. But if you need that, yeah, 1440p is cool. But I'm an old school dude. 1080p is fine for me. Susan Rice, let's put it this way. National security advisors have tons of secrets. I do mean tons of secrets. And that they have to go to the grave with. They're always protected. Okay? They're always protected. They're never out of those people are never out of power. Certain people with certain skills are never out of power. They're always connected to the grid. And they make sure that they're connected to the grid. In other words, if Susan Rice decided to go dark and disappear, they have like 100,000 people looking for her ass because she knows too much. She could turn up in Russia, China, Iran, and give away the whole store. They can't let her go. She can never leave. It's like the mafia. She can never leave. Yeah, IPS like 99% color. Um, the thing is, I never went up to 1440p, so I don't know the difference. At the end of the day, it really doesn't make that big a difference unless you have a specific need for it, and I don't right now. Jabroni, answer David Smith before I bounce. Three 4K monitors, 240 hertz. Oh, you guys are killing me. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me. Oh, you upscale. Okay. Yeah, the 4K monitors are actually not that expensive. What's going on, Irwin? I'm getting ready to bounce. Susan, who would I put Susan Rice would be? Who would I say Susan Rice would be? Susan Rice will be the closest thing to Olivia Pope that you can find. That's who she really is. That would be Susan Rice. All right, folks. I'm going to bounce. He's not going to show up. And so I'm going to send and wish him to the cornfield and finish editing this video. I got another one coming up with two of them coming up actually. After the Snoop Dogg video, I'm actually going to have to work on Trump's budget that's coming up, and then there's another one about what's going on with the housing projects in New York and the rules that are getting ready to come down from the Trump administration. Other than that, we'll see. I'll try to do a patrons hangout tomorrow if I can, depending on how the schedule goes. I know I'm behind on my patrons hangouts. I'm trying to catch up and do that. Other than that, I'll see y'all later. All right. Peace.